Well, parking in Dallas wasn't as much of a nightmare as I thought it was going to be, so fortunate me. I was going to say lucky me, but I don't like that word luck. I hate the whole concept of luck, to be honest. I think it's, I don't know, it seems just kind of shallow to me. Luck is kind of the thing like where, if you have like a strong faith or belief system or convictions in life, I don't see why luck would be kind of your thing you're banking on. Like you're going to roll the dice, or like you're playing scraps, or sorry, scraps, what do you call it? When you play casino, like cards or craps. Yeah, craps and scraps. How's my luck today? Yeah, gambling's pretty shallow. But guys, you got to remember, if you want to do this owner-op thing, like just be very skeptical. And the cool thing though is what I was saying, like you do make more money. So when I was saying they end up making a little bit more or less than like company drivers, but they do in theory work less. So there's benefit to that. But just be careful, and I would not recommend going right into it. Obviously, like the thing you got to remember this: these companies like Prime, these other companies, when you first start out, guys, when you sign a lease, you're essentially you're taking all the liability off the company's shoulders. Okay, use the company to your advantage. That's the mentality you got to kind of have. That's what I would recommend: is use the company to your advantage. Don't take all the liability off their shoulders and sign the contract and say, yeah, I'm going to take this, truck that's worth hundreds of thousands of dollars, and if anything goes wrong, I'm paying for it. I mean, especially started out, folks. That's But I know, like, guys, they do solid with their lease. I was talking about Tim Travels. I was teasing him a bit when he first started Prime, when he left GP Transcon. I was like, I was kind of breaking his balls or criticizing him a little bit, the fact that he got a lease. But, he proved me wrong in some ways, because he still made solid money and he worked a little bit less. So, good for him. But he's a hard worker. I mean, like I said, some guys can do this, but you got to be on your game, I mean, me, I want to I just want to drop the truck off and disappear in like Europe or Asia, or go to like, Mexico, here are the keys, see you in a couple months. That's more my style, but I don't know, people have different stuff to do. I'll talk more about the lease and owner-operator thing at another time, another video, I guess. We can go into that in more detail. Or if anybody has any specific questions that maybe I can help with or look into, I'd be glad to do that. If anybody has questions. It is a trucking channel, so I'm trying to cover these topics as honestly and as good as I can. I just don't want to... I don't want to give any wrong information about anything specific, so I'll try to get more specific information regarding numbers, I suppose, stuff like that. Each companies have they do it a little bit differently, but you just got to do your own research, guys, for sure. Don't jump into a lease. Don't do that, and don't jump into buying a truck. You got that whole process, man, of like buying a truck. You got to remember it's for business, guys. So like really take the time and have a trustworthy source, first of all, about who you're buying a used truck from, because it's a piece of, it's not really it's an investment for business, but the vehicle itself is not a good investment, right? Because it depreciates in value. So be careful, be very careful, and have third-party mechanics check out the truck itself, stuff like that. Going to be taking out a loan. I mean, most guys cannot put up 40, 50, 60, 70 grand in cash. Some guys can, but I mean, most guys can't do that, so you're going to be paying interest, so you got to be careful. All right, we'll talk more later.